A pair of dangerously close space encounters is adding to tensions between the US and China, while underscoring the potential peril to astronauts as satellite constellations and debris proliferate in orbit. China and the United States have been urged to improve communications with each other and with private companies over space matters to reduce the risk of accidents. The call follows China's complaint to the United Nations that its Tianyang space station had two near misses with satellites from Elon Musk's company SpaceX last year. Hello and welcome to Elon Musk Tube. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell to get updated with technology trends. We bring you the video related to China's last warning to Elon Musk about SpaceX, so stick till the end. Elon Musk's jagged year in China is finally coming to an end on another bitter note. The tech billionaire's SpaceX satellites are catching heat in the country after Beijing protested that two satellites launched by the American aerospace manufacturer endangered Chinese astronauts. In a report to the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, China claimed that two SpaceX satellites flew too close to the country's space station this year, forcing the station to make evasive maneuvers to avoid collision. The two encounters constituted dangers to the life or health of astronauts aboard the China space station, according to the report, which said the incident happened in July and October. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said on Tuesday that the United States had ignored obligations under outer space treaties, putting astronauts at risk. China listed its protest to the UN, but the episodes didn't gain widespread attention in the country. Chinese state media looked over the incidents, which involved satellites which are part of SpaceX's Starlink constellation, a project that promises to beam high-speed internet access to the entire planet. The Global Times, a state-run tabloid, cited an expert who speculated that SpaceX may have been trying to test China's capability and response awareness in space. The topic also evoked some 90 million views on Weibo, a Twitter-like social media service in China. Users criticized the US Starlink satellites. One person described the network as a rogue project and a kind of monopoly in the space race. Another criticized the United States for provoking trouble. Asked about the incident, a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called on the United States to take immediate measures to prevent such an incident from happening again. It is a typical double standard for the US to proclaim the concept of responsible conduct in outer space while ignoring its obligations under international treaties on outer space and posing a grave threat to the lives and safety of our astronauts, Zhao Zhilang told reporters. SpaceX did not respond to requests from CNN Business for comment about the document that China filed with the UN, nor to questions about whether the company was able to hold talks with China authorities during the incident. The UN's Office for Outer Space Affairs did not immediately respond to requests from CNN Business for comment. In its report, China asked UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to remind countries of the organization's treaty governing outer space activity. The U.S. military's Vandenberg Space Force Base, which monitors space traffic and attempts to track potential collisions, did not respond to a request for comment about the UN OOSA report. Almost everyone across the United States is using the Starlink network, and it's rapidly growing across the globe as SpaceX launches more Starlink satellites and expands its service into new countries. SpaceX's Starlink constellation already includes roughly 2,000 satellites, and it promises to far surpass that amount. But that satellite constellation, other than similar planned projects and increasing commercial and governmental activities in space, has contributed to a growing problem: how to manage traffic in space. Near misses between objects in space happen all the time, and the apparent close calls documented in China's report to the UN may be symptoms of a larger problem plaguing spacefaring nations. There is not a perfect international solution for tracking and coordinating objects in space. Apprehensions about potential collisions will likely keep growing, and tasks in space will become more menacing as humans launch more objects into orbit. It should also be noted that Russia and China have conducted anti-satellite or ASAT military tests that have essentially blown up satellites in orbit and created massive plumes of debris in space. That debris whips uncontrollably through orbit, threatening any spacecraft, space station, or satellite that might cross the debris path. Jonathan McDowell of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics warned that any collision would likely completely demolish the Chinese space station and kill everyone on board. We've really noticed the increase in the number of close paths since Starlink started getting deployed, he said. Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, pointed out that the International Space Station has had to maneuver out of the way of debris created by China's 2007 ASAT test several times in recent years. In other words, Every party involved shares a bit of the fault for how crowded Earth's orbit has become. This is another symptom that we are in a new era, a new space age that is both much busier and much tenser, McDowell told CNN Business. It's not clear whether the Starlink satellites mentioned in the UN report attempted to move out of the way of China's space station on their own. During October's close encounter, according to China, the satellite's maneuver strategy was unknown, and orbital errors were hard to be assessed, prompting the space station to evade the satellites and avoid a potential collision. The Starlink website, though, says that autonomous collision avoidance technology is embedded into the satellites, allowing them to automatically duck out of the way if they detect a potential crash with an oncoming piece of space junk, a space station, or any other spacefaring object. McDowell told CNN Business that based on this data, the Starlink satellite that made a close approach to China's space station in July made a slight adjustment to its path that could indicate the autonomous system was working. But he added that those systems are hardly effective if there's not more coordination. If I'm in China, even if I know that SpaceX has an autonomous system, I don't know that it's going to work this time, he said. I don't know if it's switched on. The controversy could hurt Musk's reputation in China. Musk spent years winning over authorities and Chinese citizens alike, as his electric car maker Tesla made inroads where other foreign firms could not. Tesla, or TSLA, was the only foreign manufacturer without a local partner to win a big tax break for its cars in 2019, and Musk famously danced on stage during the debut of the Shanghai-made Model 3 early last year, which went viral on Weibo. Premier Li Keqiang once even said he would be happy to give Musk a China green card, after the American entrepreneur said he loves China very much. But Musk's reputation in the country has been damaged over the last year by a run of bad publicity, including a recall of virtually all of the Tesla cars that have been built in Shanghai. Musk, who has long shown an affinity for Chinese culture, has in the meantime been on a months-long charm offensive. Beijing's warning prompted Chinese internet users to lash out at Musk. The billionaire is typically widely admired in China for his business accomplishments. His electric car company, Tesla, sells tens of thousands of vehicles in China each month. Prepare to boycott Tesla, said one user of the popular Chinese social media platform Weibo. How ironic that Chinese people buy Tesla, contributing to large sums of money so Musk can launch Starlink, and then he nearly crashes into Chinese space station, another person wrote. In July, he applauded the government on the 100th anniversary of the ruling Chinese Communist Party, tweeting, "The economic prosperity that China has achieved is truly amazing, especially in infrastructure. I encourage people to visit and see for themselves." That came months after the world's richest man appeared for a rare interview with the Chinese state broadcaster, heaping praise on Beijing and saying that China would become the biggest economy in the world. Musk has also predicted that the country will eventually become Tesla's most important market, and his many utterances have often created buzz within the country. In November, Musk cryptically tweeted an ancient Chinese poem that is famous in the country, and which refers to a spat between brothers. It swiftly became a trending topic on Weibo. Aaron Boley and Michael Byers, co-directors of the Outer Space Institute of the University of British Columbia, published a paper in Nature Portfolio in May, outlining the risk posed by satellite megaconstellations like Starlink in low Earth orbit and the planet's atmosphere. The only solution is cooperation, since every spacefaring country and company is contributing to the problem, and all of their satellites and space stations are at risk as a result, they said. That said, this is it for today's video. What is your take on this matter? Tell us in the comments. If you want to see our upcoming videos, ring the bell icon, and don't forget to like our video as well. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching.